Hello, 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 people. How you guys doing? Is everybody doing all right? Is everybody just doing fantastic? Yeah. Okay. I thought so. So, in case you guys are noticing, I have actually finally kind of fixed my model a little bit. Yeah, I fixed my model a little bit. The blinking is actually working as intended. It's still a little janky, just a little janky, but I can you guys can see that I'm just like there's some like little tweaks here and there that I need to get like you know fixed up and stuff like that. So it's still pretty much a work in progress a little bit. I'm not entirely sure when it's after a few months you would think that I would have learned actually to you know get used to this and be enough tweaking and just like do my own thing with everything. But apparently I don't know how to read instructions. There's some settings on here with a maximum max and a minimum min, uh, which I wasn't paying attention to for like the longest freaking time. So yeah, I don't do instructions. I just do things, which probably what means what. Which probably meant like I'm like a truck person, okay? I like trucks because it allows me to do and walk all over everything. Oh my god, what am I doing with my life? I feel like I've been asking that question for like the longest freaking time, honestly. But aside from all that, ladies and gentlemen, yeah, I left out the freaking intro. Yeah, go figure. Anyways, so everybody's lovely young Rose Thorn, is finally making a comeback. Yay! Yeah, Shu Head is gonna end up having a field day with this one, isn't she? Uh, I remember when Shu actually roasted the living daylights out of Kamala, and you know what? I can't blame any one of you. I'm actually one of the people who actually roasted that woman for she ran. Look, I gotta be real. Okay, she ran a pretty okay campaign. Okay, but a lot of people were criticizing A, the wrong thing, and B, well, the timing. People have been like kind of like roasting the whole campaign of Mr. Terrible to Pay uh having the Russians buy everything and stuff like that. But the fact of the matter is that people were complaining about Kamala being coming into the race, just shoehorning, not having a what is it called? What is it called? A democratic selector debate thing. I'm not entirely sure, but apparently she's going to be doing things the right way. Uh, I don't exactly know if she's going to be successful in this campaign or this upcoming midterm elections. I really, really don't know. I all the best to her. I think she did really well. People were roasting her because a lot of people have a problem with Democrats and the Second Amendment. Uh, really, you're gonna roast Democrats over the Second freaking Amendment. I have look. I gotta be honest with you. I think that's just a little bit too much of a stale point to get people along for the ride and stuff like that. And we are for the people. You know what? You guys are for the people, but do not touch me and my freaking AR-15. You know what? I'm with some of the gun YouTubers on this platform. Do not touch my 2A. Okay? Literally, don't. Okay. Don't touch my rifle. I paid good money for those parts. It's custom made, everything of that nature. It's the greatest gun I've ever owned in my entire life. So yeah, fuck off. Anyways, we're gonna see like what Kamala Harris has in store for us today by this guy above me right now that looks like he comes from The Simpsons. Why do I get the feeling I feel like roasting people and their looks? I swear I made fun of one guy in yesterday's like VOD video about one a group of what is it called, a couple that looked like they just came straight out of High School Musical in the early 2000s, and some guy that looked like he was from The Simpsons. Uh, no, not The Simpsons. Family Guy. That's it. He came from Family Guy. And now this guy looks like he's from The Simpsons. I'm a terrible, terrible person. Yep. Anyway, we'll see what this guy has to say about the whole debacle.
It back. Also been great to see former Vice President Kamala Harris return to the ring, where we're seeing her calling out Donald Trump. She gave an incredible speech on Thursday. I'll share with you a small portion of that in just a moment as well. I do want to reflect on Donald Trump's post, though, during the campaign, when Donald Trump would post things like this and say things like this at all of his speeches. He wrote, "Voters have a choice, Trump prosperity or the Kamala crash and Great Depression of 2024, not to mention the probability of World War III if these very stupid people remain in office. Remember, Trump was right about everything."
You know what? I do not doubt that Donald Trump is going to cause World War III. I mean, look at what he's doing. My eggs are like $3.50 now. Thanks, dude. You're the greatest. The S&P is down by what? It's like what, down 2,000 points or something like that again? In what, a week? And we got like a whole bunch of people protesting out in the streets and stuff like that. I have a funny feeling that yesterday's Twitch, no, I guess Saturday's Twitch was kind of empty a little bit. It was, yeah, I'm kind of like subbed and following like a lot of like Twitch streamers and stuff like that. Oddly enough, they seem to have disappeared. I'm not entirely sure if they went to the rallies or something like that. But good on them, I guess. I'm look, either they started late, got lazy, or they went to the freaking rallies. I'm not entirely sure. I'm looking towards the latter. But anyways, World War III coming, guys. Ah, oh, brother, I never got a chance to fix up my truck. So, I mean, eh.
He's wrong about everything.
It is what it is.
You take a look right here at the markets since Donald Trump took office. You take a look at the Dow, down nearly 7%. The S&P down over 10%. The NASDAQ down over 15%. The Russell 2000 down over 16%. Donald Trump has quite literally ushered in already, although it's not formally labeled as such, a Great Recession, perhaps a Great Depression that is akin to the 1929 style Great Depression Donald Trump also following the playbook there with these Smoot-Hawley tariffs that we know were problematic causes of a Great Depression or accelerants as well. So let me just share with you former Vice President Kamala Harris and Governor Walz and other Democrats fighting.
People are gonna flip over this. People are definitely gonna be flipping over this. I can already tell a few people are gonna flip over this. Great. Your destruction is imminent. And I'm gonna be the one laughing in your face.
Back here, former Vice President Kamala Harris. The end of this, she goes, I kind of told you so, right? I'm not here to say I told you so, but I kind of did. And she's like, there are many things that we knew would happen that are happening.
Is he trying to, like, cosplay her voice? Sure, I guess.
This clip.
There is a sense of fear that has been taking hold in our country. And I understand it. But we're saying people stay quiet. We are seeing organizations stay quiet. We are seeing those who are capitulating to clearly unconstitutional threats. And these are the things that we are witnessing each day in these last few months in our country. And it understandably creates a great sense of fear.
Yeah, why are people shutting up until the protest the other day? I just don't understand that. I get the fact that there's a thing called like people disappearing and stuff like that, and people are like afraid to lose their jobs and stuff like that. I get that, but really, Jesus Christ! Look, I got fired from Walmart. Okay, it was the greatest thing since ever. All right. Now, I get it. I dethroned myself to the point where I'm working for a fast food restaurant. I get it. Okay? But it's either a fast food restaurant or me chasing down bad guys and using handcuffs on them. Which would you rather have?
Because, there were many things that we...
But, low-key, I'm still gonna do it.
knew would happen. Many things. I'm not here, so I told you so.
You know what I want to point out is people didn't vote for Kamala Harris because of her laugh. Just why? What? Just for her laugh? Really? What is? You guys are dumb. I never thought I would meet that level of stupid. Like, look, here's the thing. I've been to a rally. I've been to a, what is it called? An LGBT, pride event here in Houston. Okay? And yes, I'm not gonna say, I'm not gonna withhold my feelings on it. But there were so many people who are just smoking the good green stuff around me. And there was a point in time, there was an area that this guy was like preaching, oh, why are you defying the Lord? They gave you your blah, 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 whatever it is. And this guy, this chubby old guy, like a beard and what is it called, overalls and stuff like that. You know the typical, what is it called, American comedy Cletus? Yeah, that's who it reminded me about. Not the skinny Cletus, the fat Cletus. And the guy, I never thought that people would exist that were that stupid. Like seriously, you would think that that guy was like he had like some kind of lobotomy or something like that, cause the level of stupid that was coming out of his mouth was crazy. And then my workmate, who was my friend at the time, she was asking him questions, and he couldn't come up with a intelligent answer. Like, bruh. Like, bro. And every time I think about, Kamala Harris, I think about the dude that's laughing, that says, "Oh, I didn't vote for her because of her laugh," which then in turn made me think about that other guy at the Pride event. I'm like, these people exist, bro. Bro, when you come to face with that level of stupid, it doesn't leave your memory at all. It never leaves your memory.
I swore I was gonna say that.
I just think to myself how things would be so different if she was the president of the United States today. But here we are. Here, former Vice President Kamala Harris at the Leading Women Defined Summit also talks about how the progress that had been made in the United States is being intentionally and maliciously rolled back. Here, play this clip.
What has changed since 2016 is that we are in the midst of seeing progress being rolled back, policies that we birthed.
Yeah, I mean, what happened to the acknowledgement of, what is it called, the civil rights movement back in the 60s? Like, did we forget about that? Hello? Knock knock, Stonewall? Hello? Are we gonna go back to what is it called, the time of Abraham Lincoln before then? Like, really? Slaves? Are we going to go back to slaves? Is it whites versus blacks again? Seriously? Rice farms, anybody? How about the Model A? How about the Model A? Are we gonna make those like 5 horsepower engine vehicles going put, going 2 miles an hour? Yeah?
Being rolled back. The terms that we use for what is progress in America being turned into a pejorative intended to deny the facts and to deny smart policy, by the way, effective policy, by the way, that has been proven to yield a great return on that investment.
So going from former Vice President Kamala Harris to her running mate, Governor Walz. Let's take a look at what Governor Walz of Minnesota has to say. He talks about how Donald Trump is stuck in the 80s and bankrupted everything. Play this clip.
Stuck in the 80s? Have you seen Donald Trump's dance moves during his campaign? No. I just no.
Almost inconceivable. Look, Chris, I don't know. You almost have to be an amateur psychologist on this. It's like Trump is stuck in the 80s. His music, his clothing, his thinking. He has been on this tariff thing forever. And every economist, conservative or liberal, will tell you they just simply don't work. We use them strategically.
Yes.
But he doesn't fundamentally understand how
strategic. Okay? Strategic. Usually tariffs are for countries that we don't necessarily like. Right? Or we have problems with. How about a tariff on Russian goods? But this man put a tariff on everything. What is it? There's a 97% tariff on Cambodia? What did Cambodia do? Why?
Trade works. It goes back to what I continue to say. I think the biggest myth perpetuated on this country is that Donald Trump understands anything about business. He's bankrupt every single one he's been into, and now he's bankrupting this country. So I appreciate you talking about this. This is a tax on working people that we've not seen in any of our lifetimes, and it is going to have dramatic effect.
You know,
Here, Governor Walz is asked about Elon Musk calling him a jerk. Play this clip.
And he was overjoyed. What an evil thing to do. What a creep. What a jerk. Like, who derives joy from that?
are you a creep and a jerk?
Well, that's a badge of honor if he thinks I am.
You know what? I have a funny feeling. You know what? I do have a feeling. It's heated. People have been roasted. Some people think that I'm just like a crazed loony bin that's virtue signaling and stuff like that. Well, go ahead. Do your worst. Let me see your mental get destroyed. Yes, I'm here. I am here. I am the Black Dragoness of destruction, taking souls and digging holes. That's what I do. Open those gates of hell. I want to see you crash.
Look, it's not personal with him. Oh, it's a little bit personal. I don't want to be disingenuous. The guy does bother me. It's a little bit personal. But look, my beef on this is that this guy is out there crying about his portfolio and about stock while I'm making, a comment. And my mom's Social Security check this month is late. That he's attacking the portfolios of working Minnesotans and working Americans who've paid into these programs that he calls a Ponzi scheme. He's taking it and laughing with his chainsaw about destroying the lives and undermining things and institutions that make life better for Minnesotans. Of course, he doesn't care about these agencies because he has all this money. Can you imagine being the richest?
Had all this money. Had all this money. Can we get some info about Tesla stock? Yeah, can we get some videotape about, him, crashing out and crying on national television about his stock plummeting? Can we get that?
Action. You're hearing a call to action.
Yeah.
You giving up your other stuff? I mean, how are you running your other businesses?
With great difficulty. Yeah, I mean...
But there's no turning back, you're saying?
I'm just here trying to make government more efficient, eliminate waste and fraud, and so far we're making good progress.
Man in the world and taking offense that I said something about Tesla stock.
And here Governor Walz said, the DNC should probably bring Elon Musk to all the future elections. See what so I'm sure he can help the Democrats at this point. Play this clip.
Was a referendum on Elon Musk and by extension by Donald Trump. A 10-point win in Wisconsin is
I saw this and I was like, dude, that's a heavy blow to Trump. That is that's not a knockout punch quite yet, but it is a heavy blow.
Absolute massacre. Remember, this was a 1-point race in November.
This is the spirit bomb. This is not the Kamehameha. We have yet to see the Kamehameha.
So I am angry with this guy. I'm glad he's irritated with me. He's a bully. He's picking on people that can't speak up. He's undermining the basic tenets of this country. Also, that he can an unelected oligarch run things. It's outrageous. And look, if Donald Trump wants to continue to hang around with him, I certainly think the DNC should think about hiring Elon Musk and send him to every race that we're in because we will win. We will win.
Well,
I got to give a hat tip as well, though, to Democratic Congress member Jake Auchincloss. You've seen him here on the Midas Touch podcast. You've seen me interview him. I think this guy's a rising star. I really do. I think he is someone who I think lots of people may be sleeping on to even make a presidential run or definitely. I mean, I think he's a great member of Congress, so I'm not even sure if he agrees with what I'm saying here. But take a look at how he messages all of the like right-wing podcast bros spreading lies and disinformation. Play this clip.
I mean, I think what we just heard explains and crystallizes the arrogance of these bros that have descended on Washington, D.C. I mean, these professional podcasters.
Oh my God. Yeah, during the whole red pill generation and the whole red pill time, that was like, what was I watching, bro? Like Joe Rogan. Okay, listen, Joe Rogan was good at one point in time. I'm not even gonna deny that. Okay, he was good. Okay, and he kind of ruined and tarnished his reputation by inviting people and kind of like promoting these people, these weird conspiracy theorists, and I don't know what kind of narcotics that these people were smoking before they got there, but he seemed to be glazing those people, and it's like, what's going on here? What, huh? And now, lo and behold, I hear rumors about him going back to the way he was prior to all these crazy people coming on his podcast. Once he realized, oh shit, I did a stupid thing by letting all these crazy people on my podcast, and damn.
Just stand in front of a bunch of career scientists and say, what has science ever done? Oh, I don't know. Science eradicated measles until 2 months ago. Science means that a kid who grows up with cystic fibrosis now has a real chance at life. Science means that women who give birth now don't face a 1 in 5 chance of dying. They can now build families through IVF. Science is core to who we are as Americans, and their excuse for destroying our scientific enterprise with their conspiracy and quackery is because they're the first ones who ever thought that chronic disease was a problem. Michelle Obama 15 years ago was talking about this. Blue cities like New York City and Philadelphia were doing this, and Republicans were saying, don't touch our French fries. But this guy, all of a sudden, he's the first one to ever realize that chronic disease is a problem. We will not take a lecture from people who are based in conspiracy and quackery and who are claiming
RFK. You do realize that there's a I just found out that there was an outbreak coming out with, I think, the measles outbreak because of the shutdown for the meeting with what is it called, the some medical science thing that happened not too long ago, like about last month sometime, that because RFK was like putting out a memo saying, oh, this is not right, blah 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 blah, all this other stuff, that we're now having more and more sick people these days. You thought COVID was bad. You guys thought COVID was bad. I think we're in for a long ride, people.
Claiming the moral high ground on corruption when Brad Smith, who is running health and human services for Doge, is hiring and firing his own regulators. Main Street Health reports to CMS, and he's deciding who gets to be there or not. This corruption and chaos will not stand. The American people will not stand for it. And Democrats are going to draw the contrast.
As I'm sure you've been seeing, I've been interviewing Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries a lot recently, and here leader Jeffries talks about, you know, how again the Trump regime continues over and over again to cause harm on the United States. Play this clip.
It's absolutely right. And the notion that everyday Americans need to absorb pain brought to us by Donald Trump and his group of MAGA billionaires is ridiculous. It's out.
I think the term "no pain, no gain" is kind of their motto. Please make it make sense. My head is hurting.
Outrageous. Every single one of the House Republicans and Senate Republicans supporting this kind of reckless approach, this unnecessary trade war, need to be thrown out of office and held accountable for the pain that they are intentionally inflicting on the American people. We have to ask the question, this is probably the first time in our history that an American president is intentionally crashing the economy and driving us toward a recession. He didn't tell us about this when he was on the campaign trail last year. They have no mandate for any of this. No mandate to cut Medicaid, no mandate to try to take away Social Security.
Okay, I'm gonna be real. This was written in the Project 2025. How can he forget about this? Did he somehow forget about the 900-page document of 2025?
Certainly, they don't have any mandate to drive this country into a recession, which is going to hurt hardworking American taxpayers and families all across the land.
Want to show you Democratic Congresswoman Ross, and here she talks about how Donald Trump is a sexual abuser. He's someone who's always disrespected the judiciary. I think the way she crystallizes it very plainly and clearly here is great to see. And I think we should be featuring more of her on Midas Touch shows. She's doing great. Play this clip.
Donald Trump's contempt for the judiciary is not new. He has fought civil cases against him because of real estate deals and people he hasn't paid. He's fought victims that he has sexually assaulted and he has been convicted of sexually assaulting. His disrespect for the judiciary is based on his disrespect for anybody who doesn't let him do whatever he wants, whenever he wants. And he is very dangerous right now because he is the President of the United States of America. And we are seeing him treat.
Oh yeah, by the way, we're not bored now. Where's that guy that said, "Oh, I'm bored of the economy"? I'm always gonna remember that guy. Literally, I am always gonna remember him. The United States is boring. Let's spice things up.
Treat the people of the United States of America the same way he treated those poor contractors he never paid, the same way he treated women who he sexually assaulted. He is doing the same thing to the United States of America.
And of course, you've got Democratic Senator Chris Murphy, who's been incredible leading the fight against MAGA. And here he says, look, we all know that the Hegseths and the Walls are incompetent people, so that's not exactly new news. Play this clip.
Newsflash, these guys are incompetent. They don't know what they're doing. I mean, we hired a weekend Fox News host with no diplomatic or management experience, with a checkered personal history of abuse and alcoholism, to be...
Oh, the guy with the tattoos on his arm. Yeah. What was it? That he hasn't washed his hands? Or like, yeah, he doesn't wash his hands. Because the reasoning is that if he doesn't see it, it's not real. If you don't see germs or bacteria, life-threatening bacteria, it's not real. Okay.
Our chief national security official. And it's going very badly. I don't know that anybody could have seen this coming. The reality is that, these revelations are really worrying, but, their contempt for remediation is even more worrying. They opened and closed an investigation in about 48 hours. They haven't announced any change in practice. For all they know, they're continuing to conduct sensitive business on Signal or on Gmail. For all we know, they are continuing to include non-administration officials on those message threads.
Democratic Congress member Jared Moskowitz, let's play it.
You know, Representative Gill from Texas filed impeachment proceedings against Judge Boasberg. It has 22 co-signers. He's not here at the moment. He's probably filing impeachment proceedings against Louis Brandeis. But Speaker Gingrich says that this is a cumbersome process, and Speaker Gingrich is absolutely an impeachment expert. Well, allow me to doge this cumbersome process for you, Speaker Gingrich. Why don't we just ask Chairman Issa or Chairman Jordan, when is the hearing on impeachment of Judge Boasberg? When's the hearing? Give me a date. Give the American people a date. Oh, wait. Chairman Issa says that this is actually a political symbol and not actual legislation. So it's a fake impeachment. When are you going to tweet that out? That ought to be popular.
What? A fake impeachment? That's a thing? Oh. How have I not heard about this? Then again, I don't care about my Texas politics too much. Maybe I should. Considering the type of person that I am. Yeah.
I mean, we had a fake impeachment for the last 2 years. I mean, I hope Representative Gill isn't a Comer. I mean, we got a Doge James Comer spending millions of dollars in 2 years on fake impeachments, but I guess that's what we do. We file fake impeachments now. That's what we admit.
Here's Democratic Congress member Eric Swalwell. Let's play it.
Resolution. Now, Speaker, you said some of these judges are pretend presidents.
How much would the gentleman give to his campaign?
700 district judges that are pretending that they're president. There's a single judge in a federal courthouse in Amarillo, Texas, where conservatives are form shopping and having cases sent to him, Judge Kaczmarek. In 2023, he suspended mifepristone approval. That's a medical abortion pill. Can you direct me, Speaker, to the statement you gave objecting to him doing that? I couldn't find it.
No, I haven't spoken out on this issue until I was invited to come here.
Okay.
I wrote about it in 2011, and I submitted that for the record.
How about when Judge Kaczmarek ruled against ACA protections for LGBTQ individuals in November 2022?
Well,
Did you speak out against that rogue judge?
I think the term "I have not spoken on this issue until I was invited here" was generic and included every single one of the cases you want to ask about. So I will stipulate in advance. I did not comment because I did not comment.
And then finally, Democratic Congress member Mike Levin doing the selfie style video from his car. Let's play it.
So today the stock market went down nearly 1,700 points. It's the fifth worst drop in history in a single day. All the rest of those occurred during COVID, and this was totally self-inflicted. Trump says that he inherited a mess when he took office. He says he had to perform surgery on a sick patient. The truth is far different. The economy was doing well. Unemployment was under 4.5%. Inflation was easing. The markets were stable. And now he's pushing what he's calling reciprocal tariffs, but the math is made up. He's using a formula that economists say has no basis in reality. He's just dividing trade deficits by import totals, calling it policy. It's insane. And it's also a massive tax hike. By some estimates, JP Morgan says the largest tax hike since 1968, and it's regressive. Working families get hit. The rich don't get hit nearly as hard. It's not bold. It's just chaos. And American families are going to pay the price for this insanity.
Oh, one more, actually, I want to show you. I want to show you Democratic Senator Wyden. This is great. Let's play it.
They're trying to do is some short-term pain for long-term gain of workers. And
okay, so March 4th, Donald Trump is waging economic terrorism against American families, jacking up the costs of grocery, gas, power, and electronics, senseless trade war. January 31st, working American families are going to pay more for the things they need. These tariffs only make sense as class warfare? Yeah, okay. No doubt U.S. workers will lose their jobs when Canada, Mexico, and China retaliate. Honestly, I'm kind of impressed that China. You know how badly I talk about like China and it's like the way they do things. I'm surprised that they're saying "F you, Trump." I'm always going to be saying this. I'm surprised with the way the gotcha games are being, implemented and all this other stuff. It's a weird dichotomy right now with China, because I'm right now to this day I'm just shocked.
We heard our reporters say that there are going to be union workers who are in favor of these tariffs because they feel left behind by the manufacturing that has left this country and gone to places like Mexico and China.
Donald Trump said point blank he doesn't care if prices go up. Somehow he doesn't want people to have affordable goods. I mean, the reality is none of this is going to hurt Donald Trump and the billionaires, but it's going to hurt an awful lot of working people. We saw the election returns last night in places like Wisconsin. They're a bellwether, and they're voting issues like cost of living. I can tell you because I'm talking to my colleagues from there.
Yeah, now you're kind of getting to what the Treasury Secretary has also said, that the right to buy cheap Chinese goods is not the American dream. Is there a problem with that statement?
The right. I think it's absurd. The American people want affordable goods and services. And, Donald Trump said from a grocery store that he was going to make grocery prices go down. He packed that cause in like a couple of weeks. So
I'm going to be real. I don't mind certain goods and services from China. I really don't. But there is a certain type of good and services from China that is very beneficial for America, right? But here's the reality of it all. Some of the stuff, including some of the stuff at Walmart, okay? Definitely including some of the stuff at Walmart. A lot of the electronics, I think, from Taiwan are better than some of the stuff in China. But as far as I can tell, Chinese products are not very good. And here's the reason why, okay? It's because they have cancer-causing products in their materials. Say, for instance, you use a glass bottle made in China that you use to store your milk, right? It's fine to store like maybe water, okay? Store milk, store water, stuff like that. You store grape juice or orange juice in something like that. You unleash what is it called? Different types of carcinogens. I think it's arsenic that is leached out into your orange juice and your grape juice. Anything pretty much acidic, it is going to leach out into the whatever it is acidic. That includes like pickled, you putting vinegar and you make your own pickles and stuff like that. That includes peppers, orange juice, anything acidic, stuff like that. In a Chinese product is going to give you future problems with your health. But if you store like milk or water or some, maybe even soda, like soda pop, right? You store soda pop, it shouldn't be a problem at all. Not a single thing was gonna happen to you. But anything else, no. Hot coffee, In my opinion, I would stay away from hot coffee. I don't think there's going to be a problem with hot coffee. But just to be safe because of the heat, it could loosen up the materials in that product. I mean, it's a hit or miss with hot coffee, to be honest.
I mean, the reality is they are walking back these pledges to make things that Americans use and buy affordable, and Americans are saying, no way, that's not what we thought we were voting for.
There you have it, folks. Let me know what you think. Hit subscribe. Help us get to 5 million subscribers. And thanks for watching.
Yep, that's the reality of it all. Hope you guys are ready, cause everybody's lovely Rose Thorne is coming back. I said it before at the beginning of the video. I'm gonna say it now. The Kamala regime is coming back, and we better be ready for it.